At some junctions you can't see. These are known as closed junctions or obstructed junctions. Like this one here, I can't see far enough to tell if it's safe to go without going over the give way line. So what can I do? The answer is to go over the line to improve your view. It doesn't sound safe and it's not really ideal, but you don't have much choice. I mean, you could carry a passenger around with you all the time, if you could find one, to get out and guide you out at every closed junction, but that's not really practical, and it has its own safety concern because you have to let the passenger out before the junction and let them back in after the junction. But there is a safe way to do it, or at least it has been working for me, which is over 18 years of driving, over 13 years of teaching, and around about 500,000 miles around town, mostly the same town. Anyway, this is how I do it. I want to turn left at the end of this road. The trouble is, the fence and the hedge on the right block my view. Even if I get all the way to the line, if I look right now, I can't see far enough to know it's safe. I can see, but not so far to know that if someone was coming at 30, I wouldn't make them brake significantly. So what I do is I look left, make sure it's safe, look right, and move forward slowly to improve my view. And there we are. I can see far enough now to know it's safe, and I'm not actually in the way. I'm over the line a little bit, but someone could still fit past me without going on the wrong side of the road. So I look left again to make sure it's safe, look right, still clear, and then I get going. That junction wasn't too bad. There are worse, and I'll get to them soon. What you need to understand is you need to move forwards very slowly if you're trying to improve your view. Don't jump forwards in stages, don't go quick, 1-2 miles per hour tops. That gives people on the main road time to react to you and give way if needed. They're going to see you before you see them, and that's because your bonnet is way out there and your head's back here. So they're going to see your bonnet emerging before you know they're coming. During this video, when I'm looking left and right at junctions, you'll notice that I'm looking fairly slowly and pausing for a while on each direction. But that's only because the camera can't keep up with how quickly I want to look and how often I want to look. In reality, I recommend you look more often and more quickly, something like this. But as you can see, that's not very pleasant to view on camera. I'm going to turn right at the end of this road, and this junction is properly closed. Let's see what it looks like when I get to the line. So I'm at the line now, and I can see that much to the right, and I can see that much to the left. I want to make a point that if there are cars from the left but no cars from the right, I can't deliberately block half the road and wait for the cars on the left. I have to wait until there's no cars coming before I improve my view. At the moment there's a bus coming, so I can't improve my view. Now I can see no cars are coming. Oh, there is, so I will stop. But when there isn't, I will roll forwards slowly to improve my view. Right, now I'm going to do that. I'm looking right mostly because that's the greatest danger at the moment. Regular checks to the left. Got to wait now because there's cars on the left. I'm not yet blocking the path on the right. Maybe I can go after this silver car. So I'm going to look right. See, cars can get past, even a bus got past. Improve my view slightly more. Another check to left, that's definitely clear. And now finish the junction. Now I've got my view. At no point during that junction did I block cars from the right. I wasn't quite in the road enough. But if I did have to go forward slightly more to get my view to the left, and I did end up blocking cars from the right, well, I can't really be blamed for that because I'm not doing it deliberately. I'm just trying to improve my view when it's safe to do so. Quite often the reason why you can't see at junctions is down to parked cars and sometimes even pedestrians. So I'm turning right at the end of this road. Let's see what it looks like. Get all the way to the line so I can see. Got a good view to the right. But I can't see to the left. So here, I need to wait for the right to be clear, like it is now. And then I can move forward slowly until I can see the left. Now I've got to slow down and wait for this blue car. I'm now blocking the right, but there's nothing I can do about that. I had to move forward to improve my view. I didn't take advantage and just deliberately block it whilst no one was coming when I knew I couldn't go. I wasn't sure if I could go, so I went and had a look. That perfectly illustrates what I'm trying to explain. I waited until there was no cars on the right, but I could not see to the left, so I couldn't just go. So I moved forward slowly to improve my view. Then I saw a car coming from the left and I had to stop and wait. And I was blocking any potential traffic that could now come from the right whilst I was waiting there, blocked for however long I could have been stopped there for. There could have been 10, 20 cars coming from the left. There was only one, but that was just lucky. It would be a different story though if I could see there was no cars coming from the right and I could see cars coming from the left, but I deliberately went out and blocked half the road. That you shouldn't do. When I'm teaching my pupils to turn out of closed junctions when they can't see, I tell them to go when one of two things happen. Doesn't have to be both of them, just one of these two things, and whichever one comes first. If they can see it safe, they should go. So if they're moving out slowly and they can see it safe, that's the obvious one. But also, if they're in the way, they should go. So if they've moved so far into the road that now they're in the way, staying there is not helping anyone, so it's better to continue. But being in the way is different when you're turning left to when you're turning right. The difference is when I'm turning left, I only need to be in the way of people from the right before I can continue. But when I'm turning right, I need to be in the way of both sides. I'm going to show you that now. So I'm going left here at this closed junction. This one is closed because of the parked cars. I don't know if anyone's coming. So I've got to move forward slowly, checking both ways, but mostly to the right because that's the greatest danger. And I'm in the way now, so there's absolutely no point in me continuing to stay there and continuing to look. I may as well finish the turn. That's the safer thing to do. I'm now going to turn right at this same junction. It's worth making a point that you need to be careful of oncoming cars here because it is a crossroads. So when I can see no traffic, I'm going to move slowly forwards, mostly looking right because that is the more immediate danger. And now I'm in the way of cars from the right. That doesn't mean I can just go. I still need to worry about cars from the left. I either need to see it's clear or be in their way. At the moment I can do neither. I can't really see far enough. So I'll look ahead, look right, and then I'll move forward slightly to improve my view. Now I can see, I can make a decision. I've got time before the oncoming vehicle, and I can actually see right now as well, and I can make it before that car that's coming. Not that that was really relevant because I was completely in their way, so the chances are they are going to let me finish, but I still need to be careful just in case they don't and they try to go round me in front of me on the other side of the road. If you're driving on the main road and you start to see a car's bonnet emerge from between two parked cars, a driveway or a junction, and you can't see the driver's face, then I highly recommend you give way. Because if you can't see the driver's face, that driver probably can't see you, and they're going to keep moving until they do see you. So I recommend you stop, or you may find that they keep coming and you end up slamming on the brakes at the last minute. But what I should really say is slamming on the brakes at the last second. I don't know why I said minute. A minute is actually quite a long time, but it is a saying. Either that or you could possibly have a collision. It's also advised that you use your horn to warn them that you're coming. However, although this is good advice, I think giving way is safer. You can use your horn, but it's no guarantee that they're going to stop. This junction's a bit different because you can't see, but it's not really closed. Let me show you what I mean. I'll get to the line and it's not closed, but because of the bend, you can't see who's coming. If I was to move forward slowly here, that would not help me see round that bend. All it would do would mean I'm in the way for longer. So here, I need to look left first. The view on the left is acceptable, and then look right and quickly go, but also be worried about oncoming cars. Who's going to go first? It's actually their priority because I'm crossing in front of them. Now they're going, so no one in front, no one left, no one in front, and van, well, it spooked me so I didn't go, but it went the other way. So no one left, no one in front, and go quick so you get out of the way. Moving forward slowly there will only mean you're in the way for longer. Here are 3 mistakes you may make when trying to pull out of a closed junction. The first one isn't really a mistake. It's actually a lack of control. Instead of moving forward slowly and improving your view safely, you jolt forwards in stages. If that's you, practice keeping the car slow. It's an important skill to have, not only for closed junctions, but for anywhere where you've got a lack of view or a lack of space, like when you're trying to maneuver. If you're doing that, jolting forwards in stages, cars on the main road don't have as much time to react to you as well, which is why it's not very safe. Mistake number 2 is to not bother improving your view. So the driver gets to the junction and thinks, well, there's no cars from the right, there's no cars from the left. Forget the fact that they can only see a few meters either side and just go anyway. You want to improve your view until you can see far enough to know it's safe. And mistake number 3 is to stop when you're in the way. So the driver's pulling out of the junction, they see a car coming, they're already in the way, but they stop in front of the car. If you're in the way, you should continue. The exception is if you're turning right and you're in the way of cars from the right, but not yet in the way of cars from the left, and there are cars coming from the left. You don't want to pull out in front of them. But this rarely happens because on most junctions, you actually get your view before you're in the way. Bends can also be closed. So I'm pulling up alongside this one, having a look in first before I turn, so that I'm leaving space for cars to come the other way instead of going in on the wrong side and cutting the corner. So I put a bit of care into turning around that bend. If someone comes the other way, no one has to brake hard or reverse. And I'm going to turn right into this road after this black car. It's a similar story here. Can't really see in there, and there's parked cars, so I'll pull up alongside it, have a good look in, and then try and pull in to one half of the road whilst leaving space for people to come through. And that keeps everybody moving. Well, I hope this video helps you deal with closed junctions. If you think it does, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're looking for car insurance, check out the links to Collingwood and Confused in the description. If you're learning to drive and want to insure yourself on somebody else's car, Collingwood are there to help you, because you can do so without affecting the owner's policy, which takes away a big stress from the owner when they're allowing you to use their car so you can learn some driving. At the moment, via the link, that's up to 35% off and a £20 Amazon gift card. If you want to insure your own car, check out the link to confused.com, because with Confused, you fill out one quote form and get loads of quotes back to compare who's cheapest. And you can change your car on that quote as many times as you like, which is really handy when you're shopping around trying to compare how much it costs to insure different cars. Using the links doesn't cost you anything, but it does support the channel, so thank you very much. Subscribe to get my future videos, and until the next one, cheerio.